MEC to visit Zandspruit after protests, and former head of a British newspaper empire appears in court. Good afternoon, I'm Asanda Matsaunyane. Gauteng Housing MEC SAfm3pm is to visit Zandspruit informal settlement northwest of Johannesburg this afternoon. This after angry residents took to the streets, barricading Beyersnodare Drive with burning tires and rocks in protest over poor service delivery. Memezi explains.
And I'm happy of the work that the city of Johannesburg has done in that area. There are 10 communities there. Many of them now have tarred streets in Extension 10, for example. Extension 9, tarred streets, top of the range, RTP houses there.
Operations at the offices of the Department of Home Affairs in Pretoria West have been suspended until tomorrow. This after hundreds of angry asylum seekers stoned passing cars, burnt tires and blockaded streets. They accuse the department's staff and security guards of bullying them and asking for bribes before assisting them. Department spokesperson Ronnie Mamweba says they have not received any complaints of bribery or corruption. The SA Chamber of Commerce and Industry says trade conditions improved last month. Its trade activity index gained 5 points to 56 for the month. Saki says the better conditions are in correspondence with the relatively strong growth in the wholesale and retail trade, hotel and restaurant sector. Sales and new orders recovered strongly to 64 and 58 compared to 50 for both indices in April. The Chamber says trade expectations are following the same pattern as in 2011. Growth in retail sales has meanwhile braked sharply to 1% in April on a year-on-year basis, compared with a revised 6.7% in March. Statistics SA says retail sales were boosted in April 2011 by the concentration of public holidays in late April and early May 2011 and additional school holidays after the Easter weekend. On a monthly basis, sales were at 1.5% in April. Komani son leader and healer David Kruiper has died in Appington. Kruiper, who was famously known for the role he played as a tracker in the film The Gods Must Be Crazy Too, had lived in the Kalahari Desert. He died after a short stay at the Appington Mediclinic. David, who had addressed the United Nations on the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples in 1994. Appington Mediclinic's Johanna van Niekerk.
I can confirm that David Kruiper passed away 10 to 11 this morning in Mediclinic Uppington.
In other parts of the world, the former head of Rupert Murdoch's British newspaper empire, Rebecca Brooks, has appeared in court for the first time on charges of conspiring to pervert the course of justice. Brooks used to edit the News of the World newspaper, which is at the centre of a police investigation. The BBC's Rob Broomby has this report.
Banks of cameras met Rebecca Brooks when she arrived at Westminster Magistrates Court in central London, charged with 3 counts of conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. Her husband, Charlie Brooks, faces 1 charge. She's accused of removing boxes of material from the News International archive, concealing documents and computers from a major police inquiry into phone hacking at Mr. Murdoch's newspapers. She denies the charges and questions whether they were based on an impartial assessment of the evidence.
And finally, a town in the US has resolved to punish people who swear in public. Residents in Middleborough, near Boston, will be fined 167 rands for a dirty mouth. Town officials insist the proposal is not intended to censor casual or private conversations, but instead to crack down on loud, profanity-laden language used by teenagers. The measure could raise questions about free speech, but U.S. state law does allow towns to enforce local laws that give police the power to arrest anyone who addresses another person with profane language in a public space. Recapping the top story, Gauteng Housing MEC SAfm3pm is to visit Zandspruit informal settlement northwest of Johannesburg this afternoon after angry residents took to the streets.